Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. This is another episode of Manhood Mindset on WVGS 91.9 The Buzz.
Man, we all the way back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hope y'all ready for a powerful and in-depth show today. And just in case if you don't understand what's going on, man, this is Manhood Mindset, the Zeta Delta Delta chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. We're back with another episode of Manhood Mindset. What we're trying to do is talk about issues that affect the mindset and the mental health of black men in our community. And today we got a very special guest straight out of the ATL, man, representative of the Dungeon family. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Big Rube. Big Rube, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Man, I'm chilling, man, chilling. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to, just visit the show, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, man. So let's just go ahead and get into it, man. So for the people who don't understand who Big Rube is, can you at least explain to them who you are?
Well, I'm a member of the Dungeon family. People might know about Cass and Goody Mob and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't know about the name Dungeon family, and I do spoken word and hip hop, rap music and shit, and I do a lot of try to do a lot of positive, messages in music.
Got you. All right, man. So now you say you're a member of the great Dungeon family, man. A lot of people were raised off of your music. So what was the purpose behind starting your music?
The purpose behind starting what now?
Behind starting your artwork, just behind starting your music. How did you get into it?
Kind of getting in trouble, coming out of school, high school, getting in trouble, getting arrested. Just figured, need to switch it up a little bit, and kind of from that notion of switching it up to something more positive, or doing something else with my life,
right?
And getting in trouble, came the idea of putting the message of that same ilk into the music.
That's real. So some of the content of your music, whether I know you say you were going through some similar things, man, that you're trying to find a different avenue. So where do you get some of your content from? Like, what are some of the things that you actually saw that kind of etched memories in the back of your brain? What are some of the events?
Most of my content is just indicative of my real life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot of metaphors and stuff like that. But, just everything from living in the hood, seeing crime, and all types of suffering as well as happiness and stuff. But, I could have went to jail for a long time coming out of school for getting in trouble for, like, armed robbery, aggravated assault, stuff like that. So,
right.
I just, and I had a lot of family members and friends that been in trouble with the law, or even, been in situations with drugs and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that, just inspired a nigga to do something that's just more positive, or something that's not just in the vein of leading everybody into what we already got going on negatively. Yeah.
Right. I just want to remind you, big dog, we on live, man. We on a family show, man.
I'm sorry.
It's all G, man. We really appreciate it, man. We just want to make sure that we got kids listening and all of that good stuff.
Nah, yeah, you're right. My bad.
No, it's all G, man. So now you just talked about all the adversity, man. So what levels, of concentration did you have to do to overcome adversity? Because we got a lot of young black men out there that's going through similar things that you went through, and they're still trying to figure it out. And a lot of us have several crutches and excuses that we use, man. So how did you overcome those, adversities that you talked about? What are some of the main things that you can remember how you dug yourself out?
Well, I'm not even sure that I completely overcome them. Adversity comes daily, but
Gotcha.
It's just a constant work. It's constant work ethic of just trying to. My main thing was just focusing on trying to be the best I could be. You know what I'm saying? At being a lyricist and stuff like that.
Right.
And that kind of, I guess, kept me busy. You know what I'm saying? It kept me competitive, and surrounding myself with cats who thought similar. You know what I'm saying? That helps a lot.
For sure.
It's like to have people around you that's going for the same goals as you. It give you that support.
Right. So it's basically your closest friends or your closest acquaintances, man, help you gear yourself to the right direction.
Exactly.
Got you. All right, man. So what we actually try to do on this show, we talk a lot about mental health, right? So we want to talk about, well, first of all, what are your thoughts on mental health? What does that mean to you?
Well, a lot of people put a stigmatism on it, you know what I'm saying? Or not a stigmatism, I guess that would be eye health, but a lot of people put a stigma on it where if you have a mental problem or a mental disability or something like that, people kind of look at it like that's your fault or something, like you can just wish it away, or you can just, they think somebody's acting a certain way and they can just act right, you know what I'm saying? But what they don't understand is, like, you wouldn't get mad at somebody for having cancer or a broken arm, you know what I'm saying? So if you got a situation going on with mental health, it's still physical. It's still, whether it be a chemical imbalance, something physical in the brain, that's physically affecting your brain, or maybe something you've been born with that's genetic. But the point is, it's still something that you might not be able to help, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then on a deeper level, there's a lot of that's perception. What we say is normal and abnormal as far as society, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes, I think we put the stigma of somebody being insane or mentally deficient or whatever it is on there. And, it could be that they're just as normal as us, or maybe we the one that's got the problem, but maybe it's just because it's enough of us saying that we agree on that, that we kind of like, outvote the other person and make them be the crazy one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of it could be perception.
Right.
But a lot of my ideas on mental health is people go through a lot of stuff in childhood and see a lot of things through life. And a lot of times that can contribute,
Right.
I got people right now that I know that I know somebody right now that's afraid that they may be having a problem with their sanity. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's really bothering them. So my point is, it's something that it's just like any other disease or sickness where you may not be able to avoid it. It may not be your fault, so we can't hold that against people as if it's something that they could just control. You know what I mean? Because if they could, they would.
Right. And one of the biggest things that you just said that stuck out to me the most is mental health is physical health. So a lot of people who say mental health,
people don't understand it's still physical.
Right. So you talking about the chemical imbalance, and your mental health literally will break down your body. Because don't people say that stress
just floating around the atmosphere, and you decided to, you know what I mean? There's something wrong with you physically, just like anything else.
Wow. That's deep, man. So say, for instance, man, if somebody can break your mental health, like you said, breaking a bone, it takes time to heal from that.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. All right. I appreciate you telling us that, man. So I'll put like this, and you talked about the perception, right? So I don't want to assume nothing, man, but you're a very, very in-depth lyricist, man. I've been listening to your lyrics for quite a while. I don't know them all, but I try to learn from them as much as possible. And I know a lot of people probably didn't get you when you first came out, and some of the metaphors and the verbiage you was using. So you mentioned that perception of how people can look at you. So did some people try to challenge you and say, hey man, people ain't really rocking with what you're talking about, that's over people's heads? And if so, how did you get through all of that?
Well, sometimes, yeah, but I had to develop almost a technique of writing where it could catch somebody just on the layman style from them being just want to be entertained by something. Right. And then also somebody looking for something deeper, they could also enjoy it. I had to try to make it where the layers of the message go from, I guess, the simplest way to put it is to go from the simple to the complex, but all in the same verse or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. So you can kind of take it at face value, or you can look deeper into it. Most of the time is the way I try to write it. That's real. So you just try to make sure that you adapt to any audience that's trying to listen to you. You just you put it on the plate that they can chew. You know what I mean? Everybody order their own specific food. So you like a chef with it. Buffet style. I can dig it, dog. That's big man language right there, bro. Exactly, bro. Exactly, man. I remember when we brought you down to Georgia Southern, and shout out to you for coming down and speaking to the youth at Georgia Southern. We brought you down in 2015, right? And I remember some of the things that we talked about. I know that you personally went through a change
physically with your health, man. You dropped a lot, you know what I'm saying? You dropped some pounds, man, and you were talking about your journey through that. Can you kind of elaborate on some of the things that you've been through, you know, losing weight and getting healthy, and what has that
I never had a problem. I'm just a big dude, so
yeah,
I always carried a lot of weight on me, and I was always heavier than people would think, like, you had to guess my weight, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I just, at first, I just had, well, this is what it was. I just, somebody said at some point, I don't even know who it was or who I heard it from, but they said no such thing as a 80-year-old, 300-pound man.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
It's like, when you think about that, and you're supposed to be able to live at 80, 85, you know, it's like, that's kind of deep, you know. So what I did was, I started out, it was this app actually called 100 Push-Ups or something like that.
Right.
Started messing around with that. Started, you know, just toning up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Started getting into shape a little more, going to the farmer's market, cooking my own meals, you know, things like that.
Right.
Getting off of so much of the fast food and
right.
junk food type food. You know, you be in the studio and stuff a lot, you get trapped into that little, you know, eating fast food all the time.
That's true.
Up late working. So so tried to get into that. Started losing weight slowly but surely. And then part of it also came from depression and stuff, because as my mom passed, you know, it just kind of, I lost weight too.
Respect.
But I started out doing it the proper way and losing it slowly and replacing, you know, and building muscle but losing fat, all of those different things.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you feel better. You know, you move around better, you feel better, your clothes fit better,
right.
like that. So it's all around been a good thing. It hasn't been a situation where drop too much weight and you be all, you know, looking funny and sick and stuff. So
right, I could dig
it was like, you know what I'm saying, it's been a positive thing. I think I went from like 330 to like, I might weigh about 270 now. So
oh, that's deep, bro. Congratulations.
I don't think I'm that big, but it's funny, but I went from like a 5X tall, 6X, and I wear 2X.
Oh, that's tight, bro. Congratulations on that, bro. Much respect to you for doing all of that, for real. And I wish you much success on your future endeavors when it comes to your health, man. What are some of the thoughts that came into your mind as you saw your progression with the health? What are some of the thoughts that you had in your brain?
With weight loss?
Yeah.
Just, you know, that it was a trip that, you know, well, man, I laugh all the time. My friend, I was like, man, I said, y'all guys getting big now. Y'all slim when we was at school. Right. Size I was when I was 13. So it's like I did mine backwards.
That's weird.
At first. Instead of, you know what I'm saying?
You flipped it on
them. Get old and get fat.
Yeah. You flipped it on them, man. Y'all traded places.
Yeah.
That's
mine the opposite way.
That's the play, man. That's the play. So one thing about well, a lot of people may not understand or may not know is that the impact that you have on the younger generation. I know some people may have the, I guess the suggestion that a lot of quote unquote the rappers that came out in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, they may be disconnected from the youth. So if you kind of remember that time we brought you down to Georgia Southern and you were surrounded by all that young talent who was hungry and who was really excited to have a member of the First Family of the South, man, the Dungeon family, to come down and talk to him. Can you kind of give us your take on how that went for you when you were around all that youth?
That was real cool, man, because the kids that were there, they was all real in-depth as far as what they had absorbed, as far as knowledge of music and what they wanted to get into and what they wanted to do.
Right.
Most of them that I could tell was pretty, surefire about how they wanted to attack what they was trying to attack and what they wanted out of life. Then they was all, into getting their education and stuff like that. So it was a real good moment, real proud moment to meet those young cats, man, and kick it with them.
That's real.
A lot of them was pretty knowledgeable about, hip-hop that came before them was actually a blessing because that's, not always the case these days. And, it was some talent, too, a lot of talent, like the kids that performed and stuff, they were really good. So
right.
I enjoyed that, man. It was a good time, and it was real refreshing. You know what I'm saying? To kick it with them.
That's real, man. That was one of the best programs I've ever attended, man. I've attended a lot of programs and just seeing a legend to come down and really just be personable. A lot of people have performed, and you got to go through a whole bunch of security. You got to go through a whole bunch of different things just to shake the person's hand, man. Well, a lot of people don't know. See, real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? So when you came down, man, a lot of people don't. What you say?
You're like chasing me around. So good.
I got you. Well, just in case the people don't know, man, Big Rube came down early, saw all the people perform, and you gave your keynote address, man. You hit us with some artistic expression, man, and not only that, you talked to the students until the whole building closed, until about like 11 o'clock that night. Then went out to dinner with some of the students, man. So big shout outs to you, man, for being accessible. And the reason why I wanted to ask you that is because right now a lot of people have a conversation about the disconnect between the OGs and the youth right now, right? And so I wanted you to elaborate on what's your take on the collaboration and the communication between the youth and the OGs right now.
Well, I always try to stay down with the young cats, man, because number one, that's who kind of taking hold of the reins, and number two, how you expect them to know anything or have a connection with it if you don't connect with them and kind of and give them a little jewels or at least give them a little nudge in the direction where they can kind of vibe on what came before them. You know what I'm saying? They're not psychic. They don't know what happened back in the day unless you tell them, So
right.
It's like going to school, you know what I'm saying? You study, you learn about your history, but they got to be somebody that'll teach you and make you interested in history and have a way to get you into it, you know what I'm saying? You ain't just coming out of nowhere talking about, you want to know some history, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to get you into it. So,
right.
So the people that's of my generation or older or even right under,
right.
You got a responsibility to help lead the youth as far as knowing their background and knowing where they come from. Because, like say you're like GPS on your phone, you can't tell where you're going, but you need to know where you're coming from.
Exactly.
Exactly. Can't tell you how to get there, but don't know where you at for the directions. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you need a point of origin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So without that point of origin, you don't know where you're going. So I try to help give them the point of origin and also keep myself grounded. And keep myself knowing where I'm going, but also messing with what they doing,
right.
Getting the vibe for what they doing, and being fat, open-minded about the new school style of music too, because it ain't about the style and stuff. I have no problem with that. I just be having a problem with certain just individual, just whack stuff.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? But that's not because of young or old or any of that. Whack business. Word been around.
Whack don't even have an age; you just got a status.
Yeah, whack ain't got no age. You whacking old, you whacking young.
That's real. That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at that. I just give everybody an equal chance, equal opportunity, and also give them, equal help and equal leg, equal foot up. You know what I'm saying? Help the young cats. OGs help the young cats. You know what I'm saying? And the young cats, help the OGs. Cause like I do a lot of features and stuff on people's albums.
Right.
A lot of them be independent cats. A lot of them be young. I be doing good for them, you know who I am, but see, by me doing that, that's keeping my finger on the pulse of what's happening.
Right.
And also keeping my face in the place for the young cats. So you might have somebody, that's Big Rube Dungeon family. Might be somebody else, that's Big Rube ATL. Another dude, that's Big Rube from Future. Another dude is that Big Rube from, Joe Blow out over here in Texas, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
that's real.
What it is, they know me. I'm the same dude, no matter why they know me.
Exactly.
They know me, though, because I'm keeping my face in the place, you know what I mean?
Right. It's the connection that matters the most.
Right. I seen, I heard, you know what I'm saying? So as long as I'm making a connection.
Right.
And passing off positive energy and the knowledge and different things of that nature, then that's cool. It don't matter what, where they think they know me from, as long as they know me.
Right. So when you were coming up as the youth, man, what were the roles and I guess what was the impact of your OGs that helped you come up? What was the impact of them on you?
Well, actually, the main thing that put me on my path was like, well, RDSC made me want to rap.
Got you.
And then, Rakim made me know that you can kind of go anywhere with it as far as like technique and flow and skill and style.
Right.
And what really made me want to get on messages and stuff like that was KRS-One and Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Cats of that nature. That's when I realized you could really get in depth with a message and still be entertaining.
That's real.
Those are the ones who really inspired me to be in hip hop and how to be in hip hop and what I was going to do once I got in there.
Exactly, man. I remember one of my first albums, man, that my mom ever let me listen to was Public Enemy. Can't Trust It.
Yeah.
A long time ago. That was a classic right there, man. I definitely remember that. So Dale from Riverdale, which is one of our co-hosts, we only got one mic, man. We pushing it with the budget. So he got a couple of questions for you, man. He wrote something very in depth. You want to go and answer?
Yeah, I can go ahead and answer.
All right.
What's going on, Big Rube?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Hey, man, I'm one of the young cats that you were talking about, man. I was born in 1993.
Okay, yeah, buddy. 4 years after I graduated high school.
Oh man, I'm a big fan of your work because I love poetry myself. So I have a few questions. Oh, I'm breathing hard. I'm a big boy myself, but I got a few questions for you about your work. The first off, and I'm gonna try to articulate because I know you said that we're kind of muffled, and I apologize for that. The first question is, did you face any adversity expressing yourself mainly through poetry rather than specifically kicking a rhyme over a beat?
Well, yeah, mostly because that's all they wanted me to do. Nobody wanted me to rap all day. We just keep doing that because it was so new and fresh. Had nobody really heard it like that, you know what I'm saying? And they just kind of try to box me in and all that. So I had to come up with different techniques or different ways of laying down the poetry or different ways to sneak rapping in there and stuff like that. So, like, everybody always just wanted, I want one like y'all guys, you know what I'm saying? So it turned into, you had to try not to get trapped into somebody taking your art and trying to mass produce it, some type of, clone action.
I think that's what made you different and definitely unique.
Right. I have to come up with a lot of ways to stay different so it wouldn't get mundane or it wouldn't get boring or here you go with this, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You had to keep it where it had different flavor to it, what people wanted as opposed to feel like it was just being put on them.
Okay, this is going a little astray off of what I had in next in line to ask you, but did you face your adversity mainly from our people or from people who didn't look like you?
Mostly it was from my folks, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it wasn't so much adversity as like people didn't want me to, like most of it, that's all they wanted me to do, you know what I'm saying? But it was mostly for inside the industry, like people, somebody wants you to do this, somebody wants you to do that. Or why don't you do a little bit more like this? It's just because somebody may have a little bit of fear, anxiety about something maybe not being as popular or something maybe not blowing up as big, or maybe we can't put Big Rube album out yet because we got to figure out how we gonna market it and all this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just going on ahead and just letting your heart just do that, just do the music, you know what I'm saying? Everything else will fall into play that I feel. You know what I'm saying? All the extra planning and stuff, ain't nothing wrong planning, but sometimes you do too much planning and not enough action.
Yeah, it's definitely about putting your soul into what you're doing. It's evident in your work. Now, as far as a new cat, because I got to ask for us new cats. I like to write spoken word myself. So, how would one get into or be successful at spoken word for a living, or just being successful at using their voice in a non-rapping or singy way?
Well, of course, you just got to find an audience for it. You know what I mean? It's going to take some being creative and all that and being original, but really, I think now the genre itself is a little bit more popular. There's a lot of people that's digging it. So to me, it's just like doing rap or whatever. You get out there, you do your thing, and you market yourself, promote yourself, and do some shows, do some performances and stuff like that, and and put your stuff on the internet, iTunes or whatever it is, and just do it the same way and just keep it popping. But it's like anything else, man. You gotta try to be the best and be unique. And you'll stick out and people will notice you, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Now, I got to ask you this because, as a Southern artist, I got to ask you how you feel about Big Crit. I got to ask you how you feel. And it ain't going to be used against you, but it's just like, he's breaking the norm. But he really ain't doing nothing different than what y'all did, but it's being more accepted by our generation. How you feel about that?
Oh, I like Big Rube, you know what I'm saying? My first time I heard him was some years back. You know, so I was like, you need to check him out. And I checked him out. He dope, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, different. Got dope lyrics. He don't attack the same way as everybody else. People been telling me about him and saying it and telling him about me. I see it on the internet all the time for the longest. Like we need to do a collab or something like that. So who knows what happened with that? But I definitely, I'm glad that an artist like yourself is there because it shows that that there are still plenty of artists that's out there trying to do the real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Southern or not. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop or not. But definitely Southern black hip hop artists that's still out there trying to, you know, win in a way that's gonna make us all win. Is definitely still a great inspiration.
I love to see that. You can, if you listen to his music, and definitely, I'm a big fan of his. You can definitely tell that, you know, the Dungeon family has heavily influenced him in his style, even though it's unique and different than you all's. But you can tell it's an influence. I got two more questions. I'm gonna try not to.
Nothing wrong with that though. You know, everybody DNA gotta come from somewhere, but you're still your own person. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It got to split from somewhere. Got to get half your DNA from one person, the other half from the other.
Damn right. And then you take it from there and develop yourself, and then you become a whole new unique person. That's how it works. Exactly.
So I want to get into the meat of it because I consider you a very deep person. From the work that I've heard, and I'm limited because I'm young, but from the work that I've heard of yours, it seems to come from a place of clarity after going through something painful. And I wanted to ask, can you express for me, if you can, how you prefer to write and how you choose the themes of your work?
Well, for the most part, I hear music and stuff that kind of just, I guess, the beat speak to me, and then I start hearing stuff to put on the beat.
Okay.
And then sometimes I just have ideas for writing, and I just write. The subject matter is usually either, depends on what it is. Like if it's my stuff, just something I'm just doing, subject matter is what it is. It comes out of nowhere. If it's something like, say, if I'm about to jump on your record, I want to know what the song about, or what the whole motif of the album is, or whatever, so that I know what vein to stay in, or what we're rocking about. You know, what's the general direction of this song. As long as I know general direction, you know, I take that and try to equate that or try to make that relate to something that I've really been through in life, and then just, you know, kind of just write from there and keep the imagery where it's entertaining and also not just locking somebody into a box, because I always want the music, especially the poetry, to make a cat feel like I could be writing directly about them. But, you know, there's a million people feeling that way. You know, it can't be directly about them, but that's why you want to leave a certain amount of freedom in there. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. I know I said
I guess the answer to that question really is I don't really know exactly where. Sometimes I don't know where exactly the exact way that I put it together comes from, but I just be blessed enough to get it done. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the inspiration just comes, man. It's something intangible in there that you can't always put your finger on.
Okay, so do you think that I know I said I only had one more question, but as I was listening to you, I had to ask you, do you feel like the vocal tone of your voice adds substance to your work?
Well, yeah, I think it definitely gets people's attention. People if you like the way something, it's the whole point of music anyway. If you like the way something sounds, then you'll listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people seem to enjoy the sound of my voice. Like the cartoon Morgan Freeman said, a lot of people seem to enjoy the sound of my voice. So that right there alone is enough of a hook to get them listening. And then once they listen, then they realize exactly how much substance they are getting. And if they listen more than once, it's over and over, they find that they get more and more out of it. So it's really important. It's like everything else, singing and rapping. You know, what you're saying and all that is good. How it's written is good, but still it's got a sound. You got to have a sonic sound that's pleasing to the ear. You know, that's one of the main things that's going to make anybody listen to you. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Now, I must say this, that you definitely sound like, you know, me growing up young, hearing you here and there, you know, my brother listened to the Dungeon family a lot. You always, to me, sound like the uncle that mean well, that tell you how to stay out of trouble and maneuver your parents at the same time.
Right.
That's how you Boy, look here now. Your mama got a real soft spot for this right here, but if you do that, she gonna tear you up. Like,
Right.
like, you know, and it's not to, you know, add humor to what you do, because you do some really good work, but it's just that relatability.
Humor is a very important part of everything. Without humor, you know, we're gonna have a lot of things.
It was just always that voice.
That's a very, humor is, to me, is really one of the most necessary, I guess, emotions or feelings that we can have. Because without it, boy, you can imagine what we'd go through the type of pain when you couldn't laugh, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a coping mechanism for a lot of people.
Most definitely.
Okay, now this is my last question, and hopefully it's not redundant because you have spoken on it. So how would you say that, will you describe how your Southern roots has influenced your work, and how would you feel that it, you know, it will make it superior and or different, being that you have Southern roots?
Well, I just look at it like, it's kind of like the old DNA thing, and your roots do have a lot to do with, I guess, the way you would attack something, the way you would sound, all the different things. But as far as, I feel like even if I was from somewhere else, you know, so of course there would be something different about it because you go through different things and all of that. But to me, the Southern roots just kind of helps dictate the way that you express yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it well. And then the whole thing about this was, it also influenced part of the reason why it came about, really, because the whole point of me doing that first spoken word piece was just kind of let people know we weren't just on some country stuff, and we actually were real hip hop, and we actually had some consciousness down here. So without me being Southern and going through different things and the different things we were taught in school and growing up and all the stuff we know about the South and slavery and civil rights and different things of that nature, without all of that back in there, you know, I may have not been on the same mission. So I think that that right there was pretty much, you know what I'm saying, paramount to me being who I am, me being from the South. Yeah.
That's definitely true. I don't know why people, you know, across our nation feel that just because of what we listen to have a good time in the South, we don't have lyrical content in other areas. You know, they think that our music is repetitive, redundant, and it lacks meaning. So it's really good to have people like yourself who, you know, add substance to the game and do more than just entertainment. It's just like y'all, a lot of the Dungeon Family music was like a self-help book on a CD. And
right.
We really appreciate that.
I got to get out of here in a minute, but I'm glad you said that, because that right there kind of leads into a point I always make when I talk to people about this stuff, man. And there's a lot of people out there with a lot of money, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Doing music and different stuff like that. But when you get people that walk up to you in the street and tell you that you had a positive effect on their life, help change their life for the better, made them stay in school, made them not do something stupid and go to jail, or maybe even help them, you know, health-wise, whatever, you know, a positive actual effect change on somebody's life. There's no price tag you can put on that, no record sale number you can put on that, you know what I'm saying? If you do that for one person, then you're doing the right thing. That's how I look at it. It's like, I might not be rich, but, you know, I'm rich in a lot of ways that you can't, you know, put on a bank account, you know what I'm saying? So, to me, which is the whole point of me when I was doing it in the first place, so to me, it's an accomplished mission, and it's a blessing to be able to have that effect on folks, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't really no, you know, that's priceless. There ain't no tag you can put on that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can make much money as you want to. You can't take it with you, so it don't really matter. But your legacy you leave behind, what you did, and what positive effects you had for folks, that's what's really important.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna put my co-host back on the mic, but I appreciate you answering my questions and taking a little time with me, man. I'm Dale from Riverdale. It was so good to meet you.
No problem at all, brother. I'm glad you that a young person like yourself is interested and is able to articulate that interest in a way where you know, even the other young folks of your generation will be able to vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Rube, we know you got to roll, man, in a second, but we don't want to let you go before we educate people on what you're working on right now and how they gonna support you.
Well, I'm right now I'm doing a lot of features until my record drop.
Okay.
So it's a lot of stuff on iTunes, YouTube, whatever, featuring me. We got this Art of Organized Noise album coming out that comes behind the documentary that we put out.
Whoa.
And then I have some records coming out, and all the rest of the Dungeon Cool Breeze, we got some records. But we also got a tour coming up this year where we're going to try to roll around and tour and do some stuff. And, just get everybody back ready for the dungeon, drop back down, you know what I'm saying? And anybody, you can catch me on that Facebook.com, Big Rube, Facebook.com/Big Rube DF, on Instagram, Big Rube ATL, and on Twitter is @Big Rube. And, you can follow me, catch me on there. You can see all the different dates or whatever I'm doing. I got a date in Indiana this weekend, the 15th.
Oh, that's tight.
I'll be up there in Indiana. I got to fly to Chicago, roll over to Indiana, and host a spoken word show. So all my stuff is always on the social network. Everybody can catch it if you just go on those addresses and peep me out.
There you go. So we got iTunes, we got SoundCloud, Facebook, Instagram, all of that, man. They just need to go on those.
Reverb Nation, just catch me outside.
That's definitely what's up, bro. So and people want to support you, man. Do they need to just keep paying attention to some of the dates that you may have and try to show up as best as possible and all that good stuff? Or
exactly.
Okay.
Usually anything I gotta do, I have it posted on my social stuff.
There you go. Last but not least, Big Rube, man, we want you to have a closing statement to that young man who's listening to you for the first time, who just met you for the first time tonight, but he's going through hell right about now. He doesn't have that many role models. He doesn't understand exactly what's going on the planet at the moment. He's still trying to find himself, but he loves spoken word and hip hop. What do you say to that young person?
Only thing I can say to him is to follow your heart, because that's what's leading you. You know what I'm saying? You love this shit, this stuff.
Yep.
So you know what I'm saying? You're gonna keep pushing towards it. You know what I'm saying? Because true freedom and true reward ain't something that a mere man can bestow upon you. That come from the divine. So, and that's inside you. So you don't have to look for it outside. You just keep pushing and keep doing what you're doing. Everything open up for you. All the doors open up for you. And you know what I'm saying? And then the more you push through, the more you make those connections, the stronger those connections get, stronger you get, because that's how you build strength. It's going to take some resistance.
That's real. OG from the South, man. Dungeon Family's own Big Rube, man. Big Rube, thank you so much, bro. It's been a pleasure meeting you, bro, but a lot of people don't understand the depths of your coolness, bro. So I really just want to salute you right on to the real and deaf to the fakers, homie.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate you having me on.
All day, brother. Take care, man. Enjoy your day, bro.
Yes, sir. You too.
Yes, sir. Peace out.
Everybody.
Peace out. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dungeon Family's own
Big Rube.
Big Rube. I ain't gonna lie, my life is a little bit more complete.
Oh yeah.
Don't
you
lie.
grew up listening to him for real.
No lie, man. Just having that conversation, with an individual of that magnitude, bruh, and just trying to understand who he is as a person. And think about this, man. This a legend in hip hop, honestly. And he carved his day out just to give us a little bit more information about who he is and what he got planned and what he got going on. And you can really understand what type of person he is.
Exactly.
And I think this is a really, really important step in us bridging that gap, right? We got a lot of young players in the game who's coming up, and a lot of youth may feel that detachment. I know, sometimes you may encounter an older person, an OG, like I like to call them, and they may throw you some shade or throw you, to the side, saying, "Man, y'all young, y'all stupid, y'all don't know what y'all want to do." But I mean, we just heard the OG pretty much tell us what's up and how he wants to reach out to the youth and how he stays grounded by still doing features with the youth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even people, like a lot of the youth right now, they got older brothers and uncles that grew up off Rube's music, and they reaching out to him now, man. So that's quite powerful, bro.
It's dope.
That is dope, man. I appreciate your questions, Dale. Your questions was in depth. What were you thinking about when you came up with those questions? What were you interested in?
Honestly, I like spoken word myself. I write. A lot of people don't know, but I write poetry. Myself, I've been writing since I was in middle school, but I write from a place of pain. And his stuff always sounds like it's pain,
right?
But it's like clarity in it.
Yeah.
And I've always marveled at his style and how even though it's a painful, message, it's so much, it's freedom in it, and it's renewal in his message. When you hear his work come across a movie, come across a track, you have that stillness and like, you know what? I don't have the money for the light bill, but it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be straight.
I'm gonna talk like this in the dark.
Oh yeah.
And even though that it's me, my attempt at being funny, but it's like with his music, like I said earlier, if y'all heard me, he was like, for me, he was like that uncle that tell you how to navigate your parents. Like, hey, look, your mama upset right now.
Right.
If you go in there, she gonna snap at you, and it's not gonna be your fault. So just stay outside underneath the tree, get some water from the water hose.
That's hilarious.
But you know what I'm saying though, like, but if you take that scale to life, it's just like he'll sit there and he'll tell you about pain or a situation and how you can find strength from it, and it just be a 30 to a 90-second spill, and you're sitting there like, you know what, I can do this today.
Right.
He's like Dudgeon Family. He's like Dudgeon Family's Morgan Freeman.
Hey, bro, that is extremely. And honestly, it's respect, because if you really look at Morgan, like, it's Morgan Freeman when he talks.
Yeah.
But and also too, Rube is one of them people when he on the track. Oh, that's Rube. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, we'll be jamming to some music, and they'll be like, "Hold on, hey, that's Rube. Hold on."
Hold on.
And then, like, seriously, when Rube talk, he make you stop somebody from what they doing, even if it ain't wrong. They be like, "Hey man, stop pouring the milk, man. That Rube." Like that Rube talk.
I want Cheerios.
He be like, then everybody gotta wait till you say, "Right on to the real, death to the fakers, peace out." And then you be like, "Okay, so you gonna help me do that quiz tomorrow?" That's just how it is, man. So and just speaking of a person who grew up in the 80s, man, I was born in the 80s. And came up, like, when I was 10 years old. That's when a lot of like NWA and all of them were popping off, and Public Enemy, and Rakim and all. And my brother was just he was playing that all day, right? And man,
I don't do dope, but I'm dope, not a dope, and I'm doper than anyone who's trying to cope with the rhymes I'm displaying and the beat that's playing. Yo, that easier said and done. I'm sorry,
bruh,
that's my track.
The track I've always heard at the very beginning of the morning, because I had a brother that was knee deep in NWA. He's woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I had to get before the day begins, before my mother started, hey, about my friends. And then what's funny?
Beat just
that whole intro, every young black dude was just like, my mama really don't like my friends. Thank you. I thought I was on the one. And then the beat dropped after he said something that connected with your brain and your heart. Like, you were like, you know what? Now you got the best producer too.
Exactly.
How about I emulate your lifestyle? Oh no, here comes jail. All right, let's move on.
The extra.
Okay. Yeah, no. Don't Google me. That's strange. All right, but check. When I first, I think when the 90s hit, and I remember the first time I got one of my homeboys. I was at the elementary school, and no, I was in middle school by then. And one of my homeboys was like, "Did you hear about Goody Mob?" I said, "Goody Mob? What in the world is a Goody Mob?" And he was just like, "Bruh, you from Atlanta." And that's back in the day when you didn't hear about an artist that repped your city, and you questioned and said, "Who was that?" Bad things happened on the playground. Like, real quick. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's when I knew I messed up. I said, "Who is Goody Mob?" And then my teacher was like, "Baby, go inside." I'm like, "No, I'm saying, what is a Goody Mob?" She was like, "Just stop talking and walk." And I went home and I said, "Hey," I went to my brother. I was like, "Man, who Goody Mob?" He like, "Who is Goody Mob?" And I'm like, "I just can't get accepted on the planet." I've made violations that I don't know anything about. And so he just sat me down. He said, "No, bro, these people, they represent your city hard." Like, exactly. It's not just little something. And see, I got on Outkast late. I got exposed to Goody Mob first. Then I found out about Outkast, and I had one of my OGs, man, my homeboy named Brian from Ellenwood, man. He was just like, "Hold on, you ain't never heard of Outkast?" I said, but somebody was outcasted, somebody got kicked out somewhere. He was like,
that's crazy.
Please stop talking. Like he was just like, you gonna get my tires.
That's crazy. It was reversed for me,
bruh, for real. Yeah, because it was Outkast and Good and Mob and Wish Dr. Cool Breed, and all these rappers and all these artists start flowing out, and then you start hearing the Dungeon Family just kept getting said over and over and over again, and people don't understand that you said it earlier, that was a lot of people's first uncle, first big brother, first big cousin, first OG. And I ain't gonna lie to you, they was mentors in Atlanta. They still are.
Oh yeah, I had no choice.
Yeah, they
College Park, had no choice. East Point, had no choice. That's all you heard.
They mentored Atlanta.
Yeah.
And like for everybody who's still trying to figure out exactly what's going on, how I'm gonna interpret certain things, what in the world does this mean? And we got the crack epidemic, that we heard about it in Compton, but a lot of people don't understand. Atlanta got hit pretty hard too.
Exactly.
And so, a lot of people's lives were getting torn apart, families were getting ruined, men were just dying. People, the kidnaps and murders in Atlanta from back in the day, and them boys grew up in it. You know what I'm saying? They were talking about it. You know what I mean?
Preaching.
And Gip had he got a album called Mute Mind Frame, one of his first solo albums. He was talking about it in depth, man, and just the storytelling, and just like you said, Dale, that pain, bro. It was pain with no fear. You know what I'm saying? It was that unflinchable pain. He was like, yeah, it's almost like, man, this finna hurt. Let's ride. Like, and it's all like, yeah, we finna go through battle. Let's ride. It wasn't no like, oh my God, they come to get us, or we got to fear. No, this finna hurt and you gonna make it. This finna hurt and you gonna make it. And it got to the point, man. Every time when Big Rube came in and he was just saying certain things that he was like, yeah, I saw that, man, I saw that, and then he just say right on to the real. It made you want to do better. You understand what I'm saying? And just the talent. See, and one thing a lot of people don't understand, Dungeon Family kind of let you know, and they, everybody got ups and downs. They all humans, man, but they showed what friendship looked like in the A.
They did.
To me at least. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that friendship didn't exist, but when a large group of all them artists and all them confident black men in the same place, in a dungeon, in a basement, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then everybody can get the artistic expression and experience pain in multiple levels, right? Still come together and make some of the best music known to human life. That helps out too. So I encourage everybody, you need to go out and create your own Dungeon Family.
Got to.
You got to. I think that's because if you really look at what they did,
they created a foundation.
Bruh, the foundation is just there. It can't go anywhere. They're still, man, I went on Facebook not too long ago, and sometimes I like to just put out a line on one of their albums, and people just start filling in the lyrics. And a lot of people don't know, Dungeon Family connected a lot of people.
Exactly.
They connected a lot of people. I went to Outkast concert. I think it was Outkast at Last, and it was the very last concert they did in Centennial Park in Atlanta. And I'm talking about everybody. I think everybody came. A-Ball, MJG, Big Crit was there, Young Bloods, B.O.B., Pastor Troy, Tila, from Swap House. Man, it was so. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't get my voice back for a month. I would just write notes to people like, no, I went to the concert. Please don't talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you really look at the diversity in a crowd, though, because Outkast and Good and Mob and Dungeon, they epitomize realness. You know what I'm saying? Even though people like them, but honestly, they grew. They didn't change. They grew. They didn't change. And it was just like, it was kind of like, some people don't understand when people switch things up on people. It's not because they're losing themselves. They're exposing another layer within. You know what I'm saying? And I think one thing that I really appreciate about the Dungeon, they force their fans to grow up. I ain't gonna lie to you. They force you to grow up. They'll throw out some music or throw out a beat that you be like, hold on, man, I ain't never been exposed to this. And then Rube will be like, I know you ain't never been exposed to this. I know you ain't never been exposed to this, but you finna ride to this because, our people out here dying to this. Yeah. And you sitting there, they be like, yeah. And then the whole beat come in real hard.
Just drop.
Yes. Man, I know it's a song on Dungeon Family Conglomerate album, Even in Darkness. It's a song on there called Crooked Booty. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That song right there make you think you can fly.
Swear.
No lie, bro. I levitate a little bit, but I come back down to earth real fast. Don't laugh at that. My levitation skills are not up to par.
I guess it makes sense now.
That's all right, man. You laughing internally. You gonna laugh in the car when you leave.
I'm laughing now.
I know, right? Don't laugh at me. I leave my socks.
Has an addiction to Cheetos.
Exactly, man. So I put like this, man. That one of the things I wanted to do is have him speak directly to that young man that might be listening to our show, right?
Oh, yeah,
and what he said at the end was just like, you know, no matter what you're going through, you need to find whatever you can connect with on this planet and connect with the divine within, that divine power within. A lot of people don't understand that divine power, that God power that we all possess. And just because, and I think just like when you brought it up, man, what he's talking about is come from pain. A lot of people don't understand. Sometimes pain is the key that starts the ignition to get somewhere. And pain is not always evil. Adversity is not always evil. Disappointment is not always evil. And I think if we take the evilness or the sin away from pain, I think we'll be able to look at it differently so we can work with it instead of going like, because, you know, it's easy, you know, when we feel physical pain, something's wrong. Mm-hmm. Right. And obviously if your leg is hurting, that means your leg is saying, hey, you might not want to jog at this angle. I'm about to break. You know, I'm for real, man. My joints and my ligaments actually talk. It was just like, hey, you're not in your 20s. Yeah, no, let other people jog in front of you. You always been behind. No, my joints do that.
Other people jog in front of you. You always been behind.
Not for real. It get that. I ain't gonna lie to you. The big and tall community know what I'm talking about. Like, everybody like start jogging, and then you had that first 50 steps of I'm accepted in the community feeling, and then step 51, and everybody get light years before you be like, oh man, everybody's in Tennessee now, and you. You got to sit there, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. A lot of people didn't know this, man. But back in the day when I used to jog and I used to catch up with the first 50 steps, that 51st step, people went out of sight, and small animals used to walk next to me, and I had friends. I'm serious, man.
Okay.
All right.
I give some tips.
No, for real, no.
I give some tips I learned at the Boys and Girls Club.
What's that?
When the kids run, the slowest one, when they run, once all the kids get all the way to the end, as soon as they see them turn around, they make a 180 quick.
Yeah, quick. Just go.
By the time they make it to the front, everybody caught up with them.
Yep, that's it. Or what I like to do, fake an injury. Fake the most god-awful injury you can think of. Yeah, and yell out a organ that can't nobody really prove that you really hurt it. Yeah, you
oh my God, my spleen.
Yeah, you be like, oh, pancreas. Oh, that's it. I know pancreas when I feel it. And people like, we got to believe them because we can't check it. Like, kids don't know where that's at. We heard of it. Pancreas.
Is someone in his stomach?
Yeah, he was just like, is his stomach? And then you hear the girl in the back, I ain't touching his stomach. I'm like, I ain't ask you. Kids are... All right, man.
They mean, man.
Man, I hate everybody.
They're real.
I hate everybody for
They're real. Kids are real.
Kids just don't
they real.
Pull a nan punch, bro. Pull a nan punch, bro. Seriously,
they have no filter. They let you know how they feel, when and where.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So I would say his artistic expression.
I feel strange when you let your friend come over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it's just that's lonely. That's
really good.
Yeah, and it's really like, why y'all sweating?
They look from left to right like
they let you know.
Y'all sweating, but y'all happy. Normally when mama sweat after she got her new weed, she look mad.
Yeah.
But I think that's something.
This show is slowly getting uncomfortable. You said they'll come from what now?
But I think that's something that we lose when we get old. As we start to get older, that sense of realness.
Yeah.
Because like kids, they keep it real with you, and that was something that I was listening when Big Rube was talking, like that resistance. Like like one thing about their music, they kept it real.
Yeah,
they hit us from when we were children. Like when you see something, even though as now we're older, when you see some things not to speak on.
Right.
But as a kid, you spoke on it.
Right.
And that's what their music did. They spoke on the stuff that we turned our heads to. That's what made them, you know, like that's what made us like feel something when they spoke that real stuff, you know.
It's true.
And that's what made us like their music.
That's true.
And so when he was talking about the resistance, that was something that really like hit home, because it was like a lot of us, whatever someone's dream is, you know, we have to build that resistance to weather the storm of which we're going to go through, because it's not going to be easy.
Right. We're trying to look for this. That's it right there. What we're going to do is we're going to play a track from Big Rube. He sent it to us today because he wanted the people to actually hear it and listen to it and get something from it. And the title of this is called Sanity, bro. This is extremely deep, man. So what we're going to do is for the people, we're going to get into this track, and we'll be right back. So y'all let us know what y'all think.
Humanity's vanity feeds the urge to purge the raw instincts that are the very definition of sanity. This civilized society, merely a construct of the mind, allowing some to wield authority over a conformed majority so easily kept in line. Crazy defined as a mind outrageously out of line. But whose parameters write this equation and decide placement on which side of the equal sign? In a world where killers are slapped on the wrist, while dealers receive unbelievably more jail time. Kids are taught racism, disguised as socialism, yet our biological imperatives are skewed in negative narratives. They tell us not to follow instincts that are God-given, yet enforce and endorse behavior best described as evilly driven. Evil has risen to the point of its overspilling, tainting us all with the threat of pulling us down. But we can't let it rise so high to the point where no land is in sight, and all we can do is accept it or drown. This is Big Rube. When one thinks differently from the group, he's defined as insane. But perhaps in the scheme of things, he's simply outvoted. R.I.P. to the padded room. Out.
You see what we're talking about? R.I.P. to the padded room. We out. So it's like he some of the stuff he just chimed in on, man.
What you get from that?
Our kids get taught to be scared, bro.
Yeah.
We're taught fear. Fear is taught. You know, don't get me wrong. I know when children are born, they have instincts, and we got things that make them upset. But fear is, I would say, other people's fear is taught and it's programmed. And they tell you, yeah. And because honestly, too, I think most of us are trying to shake the fear that we were taught. Now, I know we got fear that we developed because of trial and error. And I think that's the natural fear that we have off experience.
Exactly.
But we thinking about it, that fear off of programming, where somebody told you not to mess with those people because they'll kill you, they'll rape you, they'll rob you, and all this other stuff. It is based off of other people's beliefs. I put it like this, man. I remember back in the day where kids will play with each other until they get that conversation with their parents.
Yep.
And then somebody says, well, my daddy or my mommy. And then they fill in the blank with some of the most god-awful stuff you can ever think of. You know, you be like, man, we just split a peanut butter and jelly sandwich yesterday, and you know that's gold. So why are you... That is pure gold. But it was pure gold, bro. I mean, some of the simplest sandwiches, man. I'm so serious.
Fried bologna with the mayo?
Yeah.
Nobody could share that. I would not know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then also, too, a lot of people don't understand is when you cut the sandwich diagonal, it is bigger.
It is.
Yeah, it was a bigger sandwich. If you cut it diagonal. If you cut it in the middle, your sandwich is small and you'll never be full. If you cut... If you cut your sandwich diagonally, you can literally see Jesus eating the other half.
That makes sense.
I'm so serious.
I never understood.
Because that corner, it's just something about that triangle. It's just something about it just being cut in that way. Yeah. It was just like, man, this sandwich looks like it's going to be full. And then when he cut it out in the middle, I'm like, it's like somebody just gave me the end of a pencil.
Two halves.
I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed. Yeah, math was a little different for me. You know what I mean? So, but honestly, what I get from what his selection though, bro, is we have to be, after a while when we start growing up and we start realizing different things, and look at all the stuff we're saturated with in the news right now. We really don't know what is going on. Only thing we know is what's been told at the moment. We know the grand scheme of things. We know people are being attacked from all over the place. However, it's people being attacked in a lot of places we don't know about.
Exactly.
Right. And so now it's if we don't investigate for ourselves, we are subjected to someone else's point of view. And that's what I got from Rube earlier when he was talking about other people's perception. And I think other people's perception is a starting point of investigation. I think that's what it's going to have to be. I think, too, and I'll put it like this, right? Our history, regardless of what's going on, we're subjected to what somebody remembered and wrote down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling them that it's false. I don't have enough evidence to say anything is false. However, I am subjected to what they understood about what happened. Right?
That's deep.
And that's what it is. So I think now,
like what we were talking about earlier, when I was watching, the Animal Planet or something like that, and they say horses are native only to the Americas.
Yeah.
But Europe found Americas in like the 1700s or something like that.
It was way earlier.
Where 16?
Yeah.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
But they had horses before they came to America.
True.
So how is the horse only native to America, but they hadn't discovered America, but they have horses?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
And see, the thing is with me, I think when it comes down to saying, this place was the first place that has this, that, and the other, and you're just like, man, we are really finding out a lot of history facts that ain't facts. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of Santa Claus effect stuff, and it's just like, if you be good, you'll get your gifts. And you be like, yeah. And then after a while, you had that random, close your ears, kids. You start having that random conversation with your mama about, you call her wrapping up the gifts. And now Christmas is awkward from now on out. Yeah. Rest in peace, Christmas 92.
Go to school.
If you want to do that with your kids,
like, seriously, it's really hard.
Everybody.
Right.
But however, my dad ruined that for me. Yeah. I gotta go here and spend all that money on this gift. You don't know who got it. I got it. I'm Santa Claus. And then my dad was always had to be like, he say it real fast, but he be real nasty. Only person going down the chimney is me. And your mom won't even let me go down it no more.
That's hilarious.
You be like,
that's just, what? That's beyond funny. The funniest stuff is uncomfortable. Because you're a kid. Like, but daddies do that. They give you that joke that you don't get until you're 28.
Exactly.
And then it's been with you, but he didn't lie to you. It's just like having a cousin that you just met, but y'all been living in the same house.
Exactly.
That's what them jokes mean. He was just like, you're gonna get it when you're 28. When I'm 28, soon your 28th birthday, you like, man, happy birthday. Pops.
Good day.
He be like, good job, man. Good job, dog. Good job. Good job, man. So I think one thing that I did take from this whole experience, bro, first of all, a lot of people who may know me, they know I'm Dungeon Family first. And it's almost psychotic. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, but I don't think it's people have no idea what that music did for me and the people that I grew up with. We literally, like, when we were losing people back to back like that, and it was people that we knew that was around our age, we literally thought we were next. And it got to the point, it was so toxic that we started planning for our death, bro. For real. We just started putting ourselves in certain situations where the likelihood of us being injured permanently skyrocketed. And, don't get me wrong, you had older people telling you, don't do drugs, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. But you looking at them like, they old, they supposed you getting paid to tell me that.
You looking at them like, but you do it?
Yeah. But no, I had teachers that we didn't bond with, you know what I'm saying? And then they used to have speakers that, I ain't gonna lie, back in the day on the east side, man, they used to have, I ain't trying to be funny, but they used to have dudes that made bad decisions, and they made so many bad decisions, they named them the captain and fill in the blank, whatever they did bad, and they used to go around touring. Like, we had Captain STD, Captain Felony, We had Captain DUI. We had a whole bunch of people just come by. And,
Sheesh.
I'm serious, bro. They was the captain. I was just like, how much did you do to be the captain? You went up in rank, like that. You know what I'm saying? But some of these people, you know, they used to bring them in and try to scare us to death. Yeah, I'm serious though. He was the health guy. He was like, I'm Captain STD. I like, bro, do not wear that badge.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, exactly. I think, but he didn't. I don't know if he. That's it. That was his job. I think at the staff meeting they ran out of ideas, and he was just like, you know what? Won't you just dress up like a captain and call you? And he was like, yeah. So I don't blame him. I blame the dude that approved it.
I blame him for saying yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, you'd be surprised, man. You got to pay rent. You'd be like, go ahead, man, with a badge. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I blame the dude who seconded the motion.
Yeah.
See, the motion ain't nothing until it's second. I always attack the seconder. The seconder is the thief.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. However, though, but no, seriously, man, when we were looking at all those different scenarios, and I had lost one of my best friends, I listened to I Didn't Ask to Come on Goody Mob's first album, Soul Food, right? Mm-hmm. I listened to that, we looped that, and a lot of people don't understand how deep the intro to ATLians is. You know, when the lady came in and she was saying the language, I still don't know that language, but it seemed like she was talking directly to me. Like, I don't know what she said, but I know exactly what she was talking about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think it's like, you can't be sure. Some go low to get high. You may hurt till you cry. You may die, but keep on trying. You know what I'm saying? And it kept looping over and over again. I used to play that first intro over and over again. I used to do my homework to that. And a lot of people don't understand too. A lot of things that Organized Noise did, like some of their beats, they were different beats. It was, you know, it's something that made you nod your head, you know, a little bit, and it's something you can just like you can ride to. Mm-hmm. But there's other things that make you sit still. And I think Organized Noise were scientists when it came to that. They had beats that you was riding out to, but you can feel your spirit bobbing his head, but your body is still. I used to go through that. You know, I know that's kind of like, dang, it's not that deep. You don't know how deep it is. It was people who I used to sit around. We used to listen to Goody Mob over and over again until we knew exactly what they were saying and we knew how to teach people about it.
It's crazy you said that, because people don't understand. When I listen to music, I listen to it over and over and over.
Yeah.
And they don't understand. Like, you're like, why you listen to it over and over and over? Because I'm trying to listen to what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of messages in the songs we listen to that we really don't know.
At all.
We know the words, but we're not listening to the message. And that's, for you to say that, especially Organized Noise,
right.
It's like, we don't really pay attention to the organized noise that's been played to us.
Right. And a lot of people don't understand everything that we're listening to, regardless of what you think it's about, it is intentional. Exactly. See, none of this music is just by mistake. And see, the intent behind the music, I think everybody connected with the intent of the Dungeon Family. It was too potent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like, you can hear it through the music. And not only that, when you talked about his voice tone, you hit the nail on the head. It got to the point, you know how you have an artist, but when Rube talks, you can literally see yourself in a living room in front of the TV, where like you and him just have a beer and he's just talking to you, but it's a beat to it.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
And that's normally the setting of an uncle.
Exactly, right? And when you said that, I was like, bro, that is the most on point description I can ever think about, because when he's on, you just be like, all right, Rube, let me shut up. Like, I just feel like being quiet when he's talking. Mm-hmm. And usually when they get a cappella, that means he really wants you to understand what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? He really get in depth to it. I know it's a lot of intros to a lot of different albums. Cool Breeze, Witch Doctor. I think a lot of people need to sit down and listen to Witch Doctor, a SWAT healing ritual. A lot of people don't understand.
Swahili ritual is kind of deep to me just by the name itself.
Yeah, it's called SWAT, a SWAT healing ritual. I think because it was SWAT, Southwest Atlanta, SWAT, SWAT healing ritual. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That's basically a well-produced Bible study. That's how I describe it. It's a well-produced Bible study, bro. And you sit back and you just understand what he was talking about. And he literally guides you through adversity. He literally tells you what it is and what you're supposed to do about it. I think there were solution-based rappers.
Okay, now see, that's something that we lack right there, because a lot of music, like, you can, with a lot of music, they tell the problem.
Right.
And like I said, with the repetition of the music, the more you listen to it, you don't understand the effect. It's like mind control. If you listen to it, eventually you do those things that you listen to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But when you got a artist that can give you a problem and a solution.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you listen to it repeatedly, now when you face with that problem, not knowing it,
right,
subconsciously, you already know the solution that you're about to, and that's how you handle it.
That's
because
real.
Music is like it's a mind control. Because the more you listen to it, the more you start to do it. You start to become.
Right.
If I'm talking about doing this in a rap song, wearing clothes like this, dressing like this, talking like this, eventually I'm gonna dress like this, talk like this, and act like this.
Right. Right.
Because that's the music that I'm listening to. That's the music that's subconsciously in my head.
Right.
It's like we were talking about in our show earlier, when we were talking about, you know, when you get a song in your head and you just stuck, and out of nowhere you just, I like this song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, like, with that, it's just, it's deep, because I feel like we're losing the sense of artists that can give you a problem and state a solution.
Right.
Because believe it or not, all music has a problem.
Right. And most definitely, they have to present it to you.
But we don't see it.
Right.
Yes, I'm rapping about getting money and getting females and all that.
But why?
Exactly.
But
but
why?
We're not seeing the greed in it.
Right.
Because, like you said, why? But at the end of the day, that's just greed, because I can't tell you why.
That's true.
And we don't see it, so I want it more. I want it more. I want it more. So now when I'm living my everyday life, I want it more. I want it more. I got to get this money. I got to get this. Why?
Right. Right. I think, too, he was talking about the pride of the South, too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know, or may not know, when Big Rube came down to Georgia Southern 2 years ago, he literally had a lecture on the Southern influence on hip-hop. And he got deeper than what people initially thought it was supposed to be. I thought a lot of people just like, I know you just probably talking about the South. No, he was talking about the Southern dialect and where it came from, by the Union, the difference between the Union and Confederacy. The language barrier was an identification tool. You see what I'm saying? And so they heard about that Southern drawl. And so a lot of people knew where you were from and, your political affiliation by how you slurred your words. You see what I'm saying? Or the slang that you had. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people think this, and that's what a lot of people think the South is slow, because a lot of people from the South talk slower. That was an identifier. So when you go a different place and be like, hey, y'all, how are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, you're, that's what some people say. Well, he's a good old boy. You know what I'm saying? It was coded dialect. It was coded language with the same language, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so he said, look, the reason why you got different from the North and the South was because of that huge divide in the country, period. You know what I'm saying? People didn't, because, back then, white men were looking the same, and it was all integrated. It was like the North and the South, people traveling all over the place. But when stuff got really heated, the dialect changed. You know what I'm saying? The words started changing. The slang was changing. And, if we were in those areas too, you talk like the people who talked in that area, especially if you were a slave. And I'm not assuming that all black people were slaves, but if you were a slave at that time, you were talking just like the people who, quote unquote, might have owned you at the moment. You know what I mean? So he was just talking about that territorial aspect of Southern influence. He also went on to talk about, you remember that interview that I think it wasn't an interview, but when I think Andre went in and took his award at this, I think it might have been the Source Awards. I'm not totally sure. And he was just like, man, the South got something to say. And a lot of people may not know that, but a lot of people did not want to ride with Outkast. And when Outkast came out, man, people had no choice but to listen to them dudes. They had no choice. The lyrical content was ridiculous. The artistry was ridiculous. And the production was just, it would knock your head clean off. And so people had to, I guess, hate on it out of, well, where y'all from, or y'all country, y'all this, is that, and other. And a lot of people don't understand. You like, dang, why you hating on them boys from the South? A lot of people don't understand that divide stems all the way back for, a long period of time. So I think for them guys to fight through all of those specific barriers and not be accepted with your own folks, you know what I'm saying, just based off language, And that divide in itself, Outkast broke so many different doors, and Dungeon Family is still breaking doors, man, because they still doing features, they still making music, and they still have a huge influence over Southern hip hop now. Just like when Dale was asking them, you said, man, well, you know what you think about Big Crit? That when I was listening to Cadillactica, that was ATLiens 2014. I was
at the beginning, when she was like,
yes,
I want to create. No, I want to create now.
Let's just take our time. And I was just like, hold
on.
just the production behind it. And you know, and I think when I listen to Big Crit is the breath of fresh air I needed suffocating in our current status right now. Crit was so needed. Yeah, and you know, Crit ain't the only one, but I would say Crit reminds me so much of UGK, A-Ball, MJG,
I was about to ask about that.
Outkast, Good and Mob,
Pimp C.
Man, Pimp C. I ain't gonna lie to you. When it come to Chad Butler, bro, Chad Butler, also known as Pimp C, he was a mentor of the South. He was an OG to a lot of people in the South. Him and Bun. A lot of people still look up to Bun now. A lot of people still look at A-Ball and MJG, but they rock together. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think too, and let's not, and trust me, I know some people like, you better mention them. I'm not gonna forget Scarface.
Oh, gang.
The ultimate OG.
Gang.
You see what I'm saying? The ultimate OG. And a lot of people don't understand too, Scarface was a mentor of the South. When he came out of Houston, bro, and he was just out there just talking straight up gangster, however, he was real with it. He was solution based. He gave you that real raw information, but he was solution based.
Smile with Tupac.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, and I think too, a lot of people don't know this song. It was on his Untouchable album. They need to look up the word the song Smarts, and it had everything to do with our Black history. And a lot of people didn't know it because the beat was riding. You know what I'm saying? But it's so many different things, man. Also too, you know, I shout out to David Banner. David Banner. David Banner is deep, bro.
Hey,
like
deep.
Yes.
Yeah, you listen to Cadillacs on 22.
Yes.
And you really listen to everything besides Cadillacs on 22.
They bring you in. That's the program.
Man, you listen to everything else, David.
Listen to him talk.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He
know what he's
eloquent.
He shows you that you can be this as well as that.
Yep. Exactly. So I think I would say hopefully, well, he probably is not. He had to move on, man. But I think as a fan, but as a student of the Dungeon Family, man, I try to learn as much as I can. I try to listen to at least one Dungeon Family album a week, and just go back and try to regain some focus on some certain things, because they was dropping gems. Also too, what I try to do is every time I get around a good crowd of young people or younger people, or just have like a mentee or whatnot, man, I just expose them to some of their music. I just say, man, listen to Still Standing. Take this weekend, clean your house, just let this play. Clean your house, and then call me and tell me what you think about when you listen to Still Standing. You know what I mean? And you remember that time? I ain't gonna lie. I didn't force it on him, but it was aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, have you ever heard of CeeLo Green and his perfect imperfections? He was like, no, I have not. And I just stare at you for like a whole minute without blinking.
Yep.
And I was just like, this is what you're about to do.
And then next time he saw me, I'm like, no, listen now.
Like, he was singing all of it.
I wanna fly away.
Yeah, exactly. And it get to that. They got too much talent. They had too much talent not to do what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? I think too, and also too, like, I guess, what did you, when I exposed you to CeeLo and then that Witch Doctor album, what are some things that was exposed to you? Like, how was that? Because I put like this, because some of the people who listening now, they may have like an older person was like, no, you need to listen to this, right? So kind of like, I guess, tell people how you were reacted to me when I was like all serious. I used to lock y'all in the office and make right before we had side meetings, I was like, hey, close the door. All right, now listen to this.
No, he tripping now, but he let us get something to eat first.
Yeah, that's true though.
He would let us get something to eat first, so we sitting there smacking, listening.
Yeah. So tell you, like, describe how that was.
Just with Perfect Imperfections, when you would introduce that to me, it was It was Super Chicken. There was another song on there. I can't remember the name.
Oh, Big Old Words.
Big Old Words.
Big Old Words was
Oh,
the heaviest lyrical content I've ever heard. That's still one of my favorite
Oh
songs.
yeah. Oh yeah. Never mistake my passion for the pen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Exactly.
Because you know what he sound like? He sound like I don't know. He just sounds like a really. Well, of course you could tell he's educated, but it's two different styles.
Can we look up the lyrics to Big Old Words?
Of course we can.
Yeah.
Of course we can. But I enjoyed it, and it's different because it kind of like with Perfect Imperfections is more like a soulful album.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Al Green meets Outkast.
Of course. Yes.
If that makes any sense.
That make perfect sense, bro.
Like that's what it,
that
that's
make
what
perfect
it felt
sense
like to me.
That make perfect sense.
Because it got a soulfulness to it, and it's a
Said
groove.
Al Green meets Outkast. That is deep, bro. I've never heard of that, but that was on point.
That's
spot on, bro.
right there.
I guess
That's
I guess
spot
it's
on.
my night, but
That's spot on.
man.
That is deep, bro. That is
Okay,
deep.
I want to look up two of them, please, if you don't mind.
No, do
Because
it.
my man.
And what was that other one? I had that was they got us fighting for our spirit and mind on Soul Food. And CeeLo's verse when he did a acapella. That was a rap, bro. That was a rap.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do big old.
Big old words. Go ahead and give the people a little taste of
Okay.
that.
What I was saying earlier, he was like, in no fashion have I lost my passion for the pen. It just, lately life has been a lot less inspiring, to tell you the truth. Trials and tribulations is very tiring. I gotta play a little game of gimmicking and gunfiring. I'm not aspiring to be any lower or higher than. I get equal as in eye to eye again. I'm the truth. I'm complicated. I'm already, but try again. I've got to die once to never ever die again. I'm like,
What is going on here? Like, why are you doing this?
why are you?
You're like, I'm trying to enjoy my alcohol. Why are you making me think?
At all. And it's like, even though I don't get it perfectly and I stumbled over something, but that's literally, if you ever heard it, I tried to mimic how he spit it and how he sound, and that's literally like, besides being him, that's next. Hold on, just get to the next one.
Yeah.
And what I believe within, I engrave within my skin. And one thing that I ain't is a saint without a sin. How could there be a now if there never was a then? That is unbalanced, just like the yang without the yin. How deep that is.
Yes, sir. Yes,
What
sir.
you get from that?
Oh my goodness, that it's just like you gotta have a balance, and without balance, you gotta have. In order to ever be correct, you have to know what a mistake is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
you can't,
true.
and that's why people don't respect people who ain't never really been through nothing, or I wouldn't say been through nothing, but it's hard to respect someone who hasn't been through a similar struggle, or someone who in some areas of their life have it easy, and that is subjective. But the point is, it's just like everybody done bad, everybody done wrong, but it's just like it takes that bad to make growth. And what people still forget, how, and this is my personal interpretation, what just came to my mind and on my heart. People pull weeds out of the garden like they still not green growth.
Yeah, that's deep.
Like it's still, like it's not life in that.
Right.
It may not be what you specifically wanted to grow,
But it's growing.
but
it's life in
it shows that your flesh of the ground, of the dirt, is still fertile to grow anything at all.
That's real. That's real.
Hopefully that made sense to somebody.
No. Because honestly, like, we can't look at things that are inconvenient as dead. And I ain't gonna lie to you, a lot of people who are in the way, they get treated like they have no soul, like weeds. They feel like, a lot of people treat them as they need to be plucked or need to be removed or cured or programmed or disciplined.
Those two words, cured and disciplined.
Yes, sir. I mean, let's look at what's happening to our kids right now. They are looked at as weeds in the education system in a lot of schools just because they are inconvenient or they don't look like the rest of the grass. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not seen like the rest of the grass. People get rid of weeds, and not only that, everybody is complicit with it. If he's out of line or this, that, and the other, let's remove them. And honestly, our kids are seen as weeds in a lot of classrooms. That's the reason why when things pop off and the kid has a regular kid response to something, it's called lack of discipline. What a lot of people don't understand, the perception is that this kid is watched with, he's a weed. He's not even a human being. So anything he does is going to look at as a nuisance. It's going to be looked at as something too much to deal with. And that's what our kids are going through. And we're going to need some people in there we're going to need some gardeners to be like, no, that ain't weed. That's a flower that you don't see.
Perception.
I love how you talk. It's perception and it's purpose, which, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can take your actual purpose away from you unless you take it from yourself. And I think that was perfect for you to say, because it transitioned into the next song. This is a song that when he introduced me to the album,
Super Chicken. Yes,
Super
sir.
Chicken. It's called El Dorado Sunrise.
Yes.
But you'll probably remember it as Super Chicken.
But I connected with it when he said Super Chicken. I was like, I'm going to grill today.
I'm going to grill today. And it says, he say, no, listen now. But that's how he said it, but I'm going to read it. He says, listen now, I got a story to tell about a bird who wanted to fly away. You see, he knew that he could and he probably would, but his family said they needed him to stay.
Ooh.
And those for them people who got that responsibility on your shoulders way before you were ready before you had to grow up.
Yep.
When it wasn't that time.
The head of your family when you weren't even a teenager yet.
And it refers to that. And he said he don't really want nobody to tell him that daddy wrong. So he in a position that he really not even ready for, that he's been pushed in. That's how I interpret it.
Exactly.
So excuse me, I want to go and kiss the sky because these wings that I was given were intended to fly. So he knew that the equipment that he had was greater than or be better used in a different assignment than where he was. This is my interpretation, y'all. Y'all are free to interpret it, but this is how I took it. What the equipment let him know that he was given, his talents, his heart, his soul, let him know that wasn't his assignment. That's not his purpose. He said, now this is the verse. Everybody mad at little old me because I ain't the same bird I used to be.
Yep.
Oh, but if you had a dream, something you wanted to do, I sure wouldn't be the one to keep it from you.
Woo!
So he letting them know, like, hey, look, I love y'all. So, I mean, I wouldn't hold y'all back. Why are y'all holding me back? Why are you keeping me from my purpose?
Right.
And then he gains that strength. He says, I can't let nobody hold me down.
Right.
This is my life, and that is my sky. When you know something is yours, when you know that you're supposed to fill a specific assignment, and you know it's God-given, and you pray to your creator, and he say, look, this is for you.
Yep.
This is where he recognized that.
Yep.
He said, this is my life, and that is my sky.
Yep.
And I was born to fly. And he realized that even though they named him as a chicken, it's something about him that's different. Because the chicken is genetically formed to be a flightless bird, even though it has wings. But it was something about him that was extraordinary.
That's real.
That's my interpretation of that.
I mean, that's to me, man. That make all the sense in the world, bro. Seriously. I mean, AK, when you notice some of your gifts, and even if you didn't understand it, have you ever noticed that other people who was trying to let you know or try to deter you from using those gifts just because they didn't understand it, but you can feel them. You know you had them.
Hey, you took it right out of my mouth. Right when you said try to stop you from doing it, they'll tell you, what you doing or is wrong. I don't think people are like that, or I don't think you'll get the feeling that you think that you're gonna get from it. Like the negative people around you is a perfect indicator that you should keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
The ones that's always telling you, I don't think you should do it. They're putting limits because they always like to put limits to what you can do. Like I don't think that'll be good. Maybe you should cut down on that, or maybe you should take this off of that, or maybe I should just do what I feel is best, because at the end of the day, this creativity is coming out of me.
That's exactly right.
Pray about it. And if whoever you pray to, and I say this because I want to be, everybody has their different interpretation of God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And whoever you pray to, if you pray to them and you ask them for guidance, and at the end of the day, your spirit don't move you, your inner voice, not what people are telling you, your inner voice, and you know what it sounds like if you pay attention. If it don't tell you to remove it or do it different, don't.
Exactly.
And it's hard to listen to that voice because you're taught from the time you can walk to doubt it.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
They teach you. If it's in your head, you know it.
Right. And also, too, it's very important for all of us to know that just because people don't know how to support us doesn't mean they don't want to support us. But a lot of our people that love us are ignorant of how to. And so sometimes when they don't know how to, their selection could be just deterred because I'm not sure. I'm scared of it. I'm scared of his purpose or her purpose. So I'm going to tell them that they don't need to be doing that because they could fail. Because I'm scared for them. You see what I'm saying? But like we talked about very early in the show, that fear is passed down. Some fear is programmed. It's not necessarily experienced through nature. Some people hand their fear off like a baton in a race. And a lot of people don't understand that, for generations and generations, even people that you're cool with, they can hand you their fear. If you experience your own dungeon family, if you got people in your crew that love you and been there with you thick and thin, a lot of people don't understand your purpose is so mysterious that we don't even understand it. Like, I don't even understand all of my, I can feel my purpose. I know it's there. I know I'm close to it or close in the right road to it, but I can't explain it.
Exactly.
Right. So if you can't, like, honestly, sometimes your purpose ain't to be explained because honestly, you weren't a part of the conversation it was given. Your job is to make sure that you understand it, respect it, open it, use it until you go back home. You know what I mean? And so I think what a lot of us have to do, it takes that courage. It takes that fearless pain that you say Big Rube's voice reflected to you. It's like, hurt, pain, injustice, fear, murder, robbery, rape, slavery, all of this stuff. Yet you can make it. I made it. This is what you do. This is the reason why it's happening. This is what you can do to counteract it. These are the people you can help. These are the people you can listen to. And then he finished it right on to the real and death to the fakers. And I ain't gonna lie to you, the real and the fake look like everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
The real and the fake look like everybody, man. And sometimes what we got to understand is our emotional attachment to a lot of things. We're going to have to look at them as if it's real or fake. You know what I mean? Shoot, a lot of people love Santa Claus. But right on to the real and down to the fakers. You know what I mean? Right. And so, it's just what it is, man. So, I mean, I totally appreciate just that whole exposure to what he was talking about. But one thing I do want to close the show out with, and just to get y'all feedback on, one of the main things that I think could help somebody who's listening right now is Big Rube said mental health is physical health. Mental health is physical health.
Yeah, so if you take down the CPU, you kill everything.
Thank you. So now for people who think mental health is a taboo, breaking your leg in half is not a taboo. Throwing your back out is not a taboo. Breaking your foot, or you know what I'm saying? All of those things that you got to take serious, your brain can break from all the things that have been exposed to. Think about how many people have exposure to toxic messages all over the planet ever since you was a kid. People's spirit been broke or been constantly been broken into on a daily basis. That is physical health. And some of that stuff we can't pray off. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say prayer doesn't change things, but sometimes when you break your arm, praying the bone back together, sometimes it just takes time. You understand what I'm saying? Prayer changes things, but it's some other things you're gonna have to acknowledge in this physical world that we're in. You're gonna have to really acknowledge that, hey, something's up. I need healing in this area. I just can't just all of a sudden just act like, okay, I can break everything else. I can go to the doctor for everything else but what's going on in my mind, which is the headquarters of your entire existence on this planet. We can fix anything. We can get a cast on our broken leg, but we won't talk about what's going on in the brain at all, because we don't want to be looked at as crazy or not having it together or just taboo. You know what I'm saying? Or it looks like, and especially our people, we go through so much stuff. People look at it as a sign of weakness, or they look at it as a lack of faith in your creator when you go get help for your mental status. which I really don't understand.
Ready to help.
Thank you. It wouldn't be this many people around for that type of category if it wasn't meant to get help for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think as individuals, man, I think what I'm going to try to do is, respect pain in all levels, in all realms. The pain that I can't see, I think that's the most dangerous, because we got a lot of people walking around acting like they're not in pain, and some of the most broke in half people we can ever imagine. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I've had some of those days, and that, it gets to the point now I had to stop saying certain stuff because I was and people say, how you doing, man? I'm doing well. You like, now I'd be like, I don't know, it's a rough one. I think I might pass out later. How about you? Like, like,
I'm like, oh,
yeah. You're like, well, I said you did genuinely want to know how my day went, right? They were like, well, it's kind of rough. I cried in the car with my hands on the steering wheel. Car was off.
That's like, hey, that's pain.
That's pain. Yeah,
that is pain.
When you look like you're driving, but if the car ain't on, that's a lot.
Honestly, I think it's, and not even trying to be funny, I think that's a representation outwardly of your brain literally trying to drive away from hurt.
Yeah, exactly. That's just, I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't doubt that. I definitely would not doubt that.
Like, I need to get but I can't move.
I can't move. And I ain't gonna lie to you, one of the pain, a lot of pain that especially I experienced lately is that floating gray area, you can't do nothing about it pain.
Ooh.
That floating gray area, you just gotta sit here and process. Ain't nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can do, and it's literally
that's the most dangerous, because that's the one where anger feeds off of.
Man, what? But you and one thing about being in a place where you can't help the pain, because I was dealing with a lost one, and we lost a loved one recently in my family, and it gets to the point, man. Some of that stuff, the process just follows you, and it ain't no pep talk. It's just you just in outer space. And you can't do nothing. Your feet can't touch the ground. Your hand can't touch the ceiling. You just sitting there. And, and what can you do in that process besides address your mental status? How am I going to really work through this knowing that I can't help anything physically? Your brain is the last thing left, how you think about it. And if you ain't in a healthy state to deal with that, man, hey, you need help.
Real?
I went and got mine. I ain't going to lie to you. I got to talk to folks, man. I got to do it. I got to hit somebody up and be like, look, this on me right now. What's up? I know you busy. Too bad. Hey, check this out.
Yeah, no, that's real. Sometimes hey,
that's what I do now.
I don't need you to say nothing. Just listen.
Heck yeah, that's some of the best. That's some of the best. I got people right now. Got loved ones that's going through health matters right now. They have no idea what to do, and the only thing you can do is support the person that's going through it worse. You can't deal with the pain. I had to tell a friend of mine, saying nothing you can do besides be there for them.
That's it. Just listen and comfort.
That's it. Just go to them and don't lie to them.
Exactly.
That's the only thing you can do from time to time.
Best thing.
That gray area, just whatever you do, just don't lie. If you don't know what to say, don't lie. That's it, man. So, I really appreciate Big Rube saying that, man. And honestly, what he did today is what he's been doing through his music, and the whole Dungeon family been doing through their music since I've been exposed to him. Give you something real, give you a hard beat to it, and let you party from time to time to get your mind off of it, but they're going to bring you right back to the battles that we dealing with every day as a people. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? I always will give respect, and respect where it's due, man. Right on to the real. Death to the fakers. Dungeon family, first family of the South, first family of hip-hop to me. You know what I'm saying? That could be debatable. I'll just be in the car listening to their music while everybody argue about it. That's just where I'm at, man.
Would the car be on or off?
I don't know. It'd be off, man. Gas getting a little weird. I got a V8. and it ain't talking about the vegetable juice either.
That's funny, though. I can't pull my friend out of the ditch. Could have had a V8.
You could have got.
Hey, that's what all the Chevy owners are saying to the Ford owners, because, Ford don't put V8s in their trucks.
No, they don't. Oh, really? So it's all V6s now?
With EcoBoost.
Man, that's tight.
Could have had a V8.
That's tight, man. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna close the show, man. If y'all want to just give some closing remarks, what did y'all get personally from Big Rube, and what some advice that you may give to a listener right now, and what some kind of helped me. It's a person right now. Picture that person you're talking to that may be listening to us right now, or may listen to the recording later on. A young man still trying to figure it out, and Big Rube did this really well earlier when I asked him to speak to that specific young man. So how did you interpret what you heard today, and then what would you say to that person that's listening right now?
Basically, what I interpret from the interview today is there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
With that being said, we all got dreams and desires, aspirations of where we want to be in the life.
Right.
Don't lose hope. Keep your head up. It's going to take time, but you have to put that effort in. Have faith and just believe in yourself.
Right.
Listen to that person that you always deny.
Keep going.
Listen to that person.
Yeah, we still on.
And keep your head up, because at the end of the day, you are your worst enemy and you are your best friend. And when you give up, you're the one that limits yourself from being great and being the person, the best that you can be. So for that person out there who's trying to do something, keep going. Build that resistance.
Right.
And weather the storm, because there is a brighter day.
That's real, bro. That's real. Dale from Riverdale. What'd you get from Big Rube? And that was Big Rube on the phone just then. He just called. He said, "Did they dig the track?" Mm-hmm. Now hold on, let me make sure. Did they dig the track? and then I was just like, yeah, we played it. We're gonna play it again. He's like, oh man, my bad, man. You still on the show, man. Don't worry about it. My bad. Just hit me back. You know? and I'm impersonating him with respect. You know what I'm saying? That's it's all respect.
Remember you said,
yeah, that's true. That's what's up. So what did you get from Big Rube, man? And what can you give to that listener that's listening right now?
I don't know. I know this probably sound weird, but whoever listening to this are gonna listen to it. I feel the pain that's on your heart.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it's a stillness that came over me. It's pain, but it's internal to the core. Whatever you're going through, I know it hurt. It hurt. It's unimaginable hurt, man. But I'm gonna tell you like this here: whatever you facing, whatever you're going through, it's conquerable. See, whoever is coming at you, they coming at you mentally, and you got to keep that in contact, because they can't take your spirit if you are in line, man. Go to your weapon. Your sword is your Bible. Mm-hmm. That word is to help you pierce through all of the ones who are trying to persecute you, make you feel like you're something that you're not, that you're a monster, that you don't deserve success, that you don't deserve forgiveness.
Right.
Okay? Listen to me. You deserve all of that. You deserve a new start. You deserve a new chance. You deserve happiness. You deserve for someone to love you unconditionally. You deserve all of that. Don't let your mistake that you're going through right now, or whatever you're experiencing, define who you are for the rest of your existence on this earth. Take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and whatever situation you're going through, whether it's someone trying to judge you or whoever has power over you, pray before you deal with that person, and say a prayer under your breath if that's what you believe in when you have to talk to that person, and watch their spirit change, and watch their demeanor change, and watch doors be opened up for you. You got to forgive yourself first and purify your heart so you can find that inner strength. I love you, man, or woman, and I don't even know who you are, but you got it.
Amen.
That's real, bro.
You got to say amen.
Amen, dog. Like, real talk, man. Most high moves, bro. This is what I got from Big Rube, man. Being able to talk directly to a legend, that does something for my spirit, period.
He called you, though.
Yeah.
He called you. You know, you got to.
Yeah. No, I ain't gonna lie to you. He calling me back. He calling me back because I've been bugging I've been bugging Rube pretty horribly. Hey, like for real. He was like, dog, I got you, man. Just call me right before the show. Like, you know what I mean? So like, the shout out to him, but just being able to talk to a legend that helped raise you. You know what I'm saying? That you ain't never having a mentor that you never met, that you can finally meet. That do something to the soul there, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I really am spiritually high off of this. It was like that because I met him in person 2 years ago, and he just been honestly, he been mentoring me for just different things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just shoot him a text message or shoot him some on Facebook, and he'll give me some right back and be like, yeah, you know, do this, do that, and the other. And you know, he got some going up, and I invite him to stuff, and you know, he'll just be like, man, appreciate you inviting me. You know, I can't make it, but you know, he's a busy dude. But just the realness behind a legend, that right there is comforting. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing about having access to someone, but it's also something different when you can actually connect with something. You know what I'm saying? That does a lot. That did a lot for me as not only as a black man, but as a fan a Dungeon Family fan. So honestly, you thought I was a fan before. It's finna get real ridiculous now. You know what I mean? What he really talked about when it came to mental health, being your mental health is physical health. I think that connected with me a lot. A lot of people don't understand that stress does break down the body, and sometimes stress is in the mind.
That's what you've been saying the whole time.
Right. And honestly, that's how I feel. If you are stressed out about the unknown or trying to impress people that don't understand your purpose, who was not there with God when he made you, you know what I mean? But they're trying to dictate what you're supposed to do on the planet, that is a stressful state, especially if you think that those people make and break your whole existence. You know what I'm saying? Do you go with the inner God, or do you go with the people that's in front of you that probably don't know him? You know what I mean? And so a lot of people are going through that right now. So what he was saying, bro, and just how he took his status as a young man, making all those different mistakes, and not only making those mistakes, but what a lot of people don't understand, all of his mistakes drove him to be one of the most powerful individuals in one of the most powerful groups known to music history. That's what people don't understand. Like, sometimes your bad decisions are rerouted GPS signals. The GPS rerouting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you maybe thought you were going down a road and you made mistakes, and the GPS didn't cut off. The only thing it's gonna do rerouting. You know what I'm saying? And you still got the destination. You just turned down a couple of streets that you weren't supposed to turn on, and then the Most High was rerouting. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take that with you. Oh, yeah, you're going to take that with you. Oh, you're going to take that other mistake with you. Oh, all these people finna benefit from all these mistakes. Keep making another mistake. I'm going to put a blessing on it on top of that. And I'm going to help these people. People you will never meet. But they're going to need to hear your voice. They're going to need to hear all of these things that you went through, so they won't have to repeat these same mistakes. And even if they do, they know there's some hope behind it because they listening to your album right now. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think just that whole... And the aspect of friendship, a lot of people don't understand that. I guess growing up, not only just in Atlanta, but a lot of people have their own definitions of friendship. But just seeing a clan, a group, a family of black men who are talented in the same spot that can create, and they still in contact to this day. Think about how many friends we done lost. You know what I'm saying? How many friends that we couldn't even create with in the same spot that we had to let go. I just look at the Dungeon family. It's like, man, I keep trying to create my Dungeon family. I got a whole bunch of Dungeon families that I'm affiliated with, literally. Like, regardless of what we got in common, we just take our experiences, go to a specific dungeon, go to a deep, dark place, and we create. That's what we do. And honestly, I wouldn't know how to do that unless I was exposed to them dudes.
Shout out to Bad Batch.
For real, Bad Batch Entertainment, a lot of GSU alumni. Shout out to the bros with Make It South Five Return Incorporated. Shout out to my homeboys, old school GSU, man. All my homeboys, you live in Park Place and UP back in the day. We call it the GSU crew, man. Just everybody, man. Just the homies, man. Everybody know you got your specific Dungeon family, man. For real. I mean, I got people in Southwest Atlanta, East Point. I got people in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? I got bros all over the place. You got extended Dungeon families. And if you don't think you got one, go create one. They out there for you. You know what I'm saying? And this isolation feeling that we all got, we're going to have to take that with us and find the other members of your Dungeon family who are isolated too. And through that isolated pain, y'all can create some amazing stuff. You'd be surprised, man. So I would say shout out to Big Rube for taking the time out of his busy schedule just to talk with the youth. Also, too, what I would say to the person that's listening to us right now, make sure that you identify the false gods in your life and put them in their proper place, which is out of your sight.
Wow.
Yeah,
we helping people here.
Yeah, well, we trying, but we helping each other because I got to remind myself of this stuff. I don't have this stuff down packed. You know what I'm saying? False gods pop up like raindrops. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just come out of nowhere from time to time, and people don't understand. You worship not with your mind, you worship with your actions. A lot of people don't understand that. It's not who you pray to, it's who you work towards. So if you working towards the people that really don't have understanding of what your purpose are, you low-key worshiping them. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful who you worship with your mind, your body, your soul, your heart, and your whole intentions. You know what I'm saying? Be intentional with your intentions. If you don't understand what your purpose is, question your purpose every day. Don't take someone else's assignment for you and think you're accomplishing something, because deep down inside you can be mad at everybody. Once you accomplish somebody else's dream, you got to sit in that room by yourself, knowing good and well you didn't capitalize off the gifts that your creator gave you. But that's the reason why we got to flash and tell people how good we're doing, because we ain't. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to try to do is make sure I keep it as real as possible. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible to keep it 100 because we're not 100% of what we need to be. You know what I'm saying? But I will make an attempt, not a lot of people. I'll just make that attempt. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't got to tell you everything that's going on, but when you ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to try to tell you in the best way without bringing you down, but I ain't going to lie to you. You know, when I need to work on something, I'm going to make that attempt. I'm going to have some courageous steps that I'm going to take. You know what I mean? Yeah. And honestly, too, you don't know something until you know how to teach it. You don't know what you know until you teach somebody. So if you're listening right now, you think you got a craft, you think you got some knowledge, teach it, plant those seeds in people, and watch the fruit grow. And eat good. All right. I got a quick announcement, man. We got the Statesboro Showcase next Wednesday, 8:30 Main Street Billiards, 29 West Main Street. We got a couple of rappers. We got some poets, a couple of comedians coming by. It's $5 door price. We're supporting the black business, man. So come down. We're going to make you laugh all night, and then you're going to hear some powerful information, some spoken word, and all of that. You'd be surprised what you'll hear, man. Bring some folks, man. It'll be a really, really good time. Thank y'all so much for,
What if you want to perform?
If you want to perform, yeah. If you still want to perform, you can email statesboroshowcase@gmail.com. Again, that email is statesboroshowcase@gmail.com. You just email that and you get a guaranteed spot until all those spots are filled up, because we ain't going to be there till midnight. We start on time and we get up out of there.
How long does each act have? I know these are questions.
No, that's good. Usually, like, if you rapping or having, like, most people who rap, they have like tracks that's about 3 to 5 minutes long, and we give you usually like 2 tracks. But if it's a lot of people who don't sign up, you can almost do your album if you want to. You know what I mean? I know some people having album release parties at this next one. They're going to be dropping mixtapes and stuff like that. So you're interested, man, I highly suggest y'all email statesboroshowcase@gmail.com, or just make sure you put on your calendar right now, Wednesday, 8:30, 29 West Main Street, downtown at Main Street Billiards, right next to Big Head Barbershop and Salon. So y'all got any updates or announcements for the people?
Yeah, actually.
What's up?
We got an event Thursday after the showcase to carry on the Talent Week. We got an event from GNA called Showtime in the Borough. Okay. It's a talent show. It's just like Showtime at the Apollo, Borough style. Come have fun. Cash prize winner for the talent. It'll be judged by the crowd, the audience, and judges. We'll have a famous AR from Atlanta. Right. We'll have a dance instructor and much more. It's just a play. It's just trying to have fun. Give that little Apollo vibe in the borough, stuff like that. But y'all come out, check out. Tickets $3 if you're interested. Mm-hmm. Y'all can let me pull it up real quick. Okay. Y'all can actually, if you're interested and want to sign up, you can. Where is it at? Yeah. You can shoot an email at sw07064@georgiasouthern.edu. Okay. So if that's something you're interested in doing, come out, have fun. And if you're not there yet, we may have a tap dancer for you. That's
what's up. Dale from Riverdale, what you got? Any announcement?
All I got is, man, follow me on Instagram, Executive Dale, EXECUTIVEDALE, all together. Or you can follow me on Facebook. Was it / it's still Executive Dale. If you put behind facebook.com / whatever, Executive Dale. Snapchat, Executive Dale. If y'all haven't figured it out by now, whatever field I go into, I'm going to be official. That's executive. Right. Speaking into existence.
Exactly.
Sound designer, performer, comedian, host, actor, whatever you need. Dale from Riverdale can fulfill it.
Gotcha.
Indeed.
Gotcha. We also have I got a real quick text message. We got the Statesboro alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. They're having a program called Embody, which they actually talk to young black men in the Bullitt County area and surrounding areas too. They're going to be at William James Middle School on April 22nd. All right, so you have a young African-American male or just a young male who needs help or needs some type of guidance. They're going to have community members there. They're going to have workshops. They're probably going to serve some food or whatnot. So bring your young, yeah, most definitely.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So we'll be there with foil.
And to-go plates.
Yeah, and to-go plates, you know what I'm saying? But it's going to be from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon on April 22nd at William James Middle School. All right, so you want to come out and bring a young man with you. All right, so you coming out there to volunteer, you just want to meet some people, make sure you bring a young black male or African-American male or a dark-skinned male, whatever you identify with. Bring him. He's going to get some help. Shout out to the Deltas for reaching out to the community. All right. All right, man. I think that's pretty much it, man. It was a great show. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was sleepy early, but I'm going to stay up and read.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I got some music to listen to.
Yeah. But tonight's CD of choice will be Cool Breeze, East Point Greatest Hit. Thank y'all so much.
Indeed.
That's what I'm listening to.
This has been another episode of Manhood Mindset on WVGS 91.9. The Buzz.
All right, and we're gonna close y'all out with the track that Big Rube gave to us, and the title of this track is Sanity, man. Thank y'all so much. Shout out to Big Rube. Right on to the real, deaf to the fakers. Peace out.
Humanity's vanity feeds the urge to purge the raw instincts that are the very definition of sanity. This civilized society, merely a construct of the mind, allowing some to wield authority over a conformed majority so easily kept in line. Crazy defined as a mind outrageously out of line. But whose parameters write this equation and decide placement on which side of the equal sign? In a world where killers are slapped on the wrist, while dealers receive unbelievably more jail time. Kids are taught racism, disguised as socialism, yet our biological imperatives are skewed in negative narratives. They tell us not to follow instincts that are God-given, yet enforce and endorse behavior best described as evilly driven. Evil has risen to the point of its overspilling, tainting us all with the threat of pulling us down. But we can't let it rise so high to the point where no land is in sight, and all we can do is accept it or drown. This is Big Rube. When one thinks differently from the group, he's defined as insane. But perhaps in the scheme of things, he's simply outvoted. R.I.P. to the padded room. Out.